Well, hello there, and welcome to another episode of Scouting 5, recapping scouting news from around the world for the week of July 22nd, 2024. I'm Scouter Ken, and I'm once again recording from St. Albert, Alberta. So currently, there is a rover moot, or, well, it's not called a moot, although traditionally we do call a gathering of rover scouts a moot, but there is a rover-centric event going on in Norway just right now, quoting scout.org. Over 5,500 scouts and guides from 38 countries are arriving in Norway this week for the highly anticipated 7th Roverway. Young people ages 16 to 22 will take part in this first outdoor event since the pandemic, which promises to be an enriching blend of adventure, education, and cultural exchange. The event, being hosted by the Guides and Scouts of Norway, with support from government partners and local authorities, will take place from 22nd July to 2nd August in Norway. During the first 6 days of the event, participants will join mini-camps taking place all around Norway. For the second half of the event, young people between the ages of 16 and 22 will have the opportunity to take part in a wide range of educational programs and outdoor adventure activities that promote peace, sustainability, cross-cultural exchange, and leadership skills at the campsite in Lundeset in Hundvåg. End quote. So, Roverway, I was just doing a little bit of looking here. It began in 2003, and it's held every 4 years. The last time that it was held, though, was 2018, because, of course, the pandemic kind of got in the way. The 2018 camp took place in the Netherlands, so it kind of moves around, as these events tend to do. It will not surprise that the focus for Roverway in 2024 will be heavily on sustainable development. World Organization of the Scouting Movement having gone all in on the sustainable development goals in recent years. And some great news out of Kenya, which has, over the last few years, doubled its scouting membership to a whopping 4.4 million, quoting scout.org. The Kenya Scouts Association has recorded growth of over 2 million, doubling its youth and adult membership to 4.4 million, following a 6-month countrywide census exercise undertaken with the support of the Ministry of Education across the country's 47 counties. Youth membership, between the ages of 6 and 26 years, now stands at 4.3 million, supported by close to 120,000 adult volunteers, those over the ages of 26, with near equal gender parity of 50.4% male and 49.6% female. The largest age section is Songora Scouts, 6 to 11-year-olds, at 1.62 million, followed by Chipukizi Scouts, 12 to 14 years, at 1.1 million, Moamba Scouts, 15 to 18 years, at 1 million, and Jasiri Scouts, 18 to 26 years, at just over 500,000 members across all age sections. The males were more predominant than females, except among Songora Scouts. Of the 47 counties, the capital Nairobi ranks first, with 548,304 scouts, followed by Makueni, Meru, Kiambu, and Turkana. The counties with the lowest membership are Isiolo, Lamu, Marsabit, Mandera, and lastly, Wajir, which boasts a mere 2,400 scouts. This growth takes the Kenya Scouts Association back to the top as Africa's largest national scout organization, after temporarily being overtaken by the Scout Association of Nigeria, who recorded 3.3 million members last year. End quote. So I guess it was wrong. It wasn't over the last couple of years. It was over the last 6 months. 2 million new members over the last 6 months. That's insane growth. It's the kind of growth that we would only dream about seeing here in Canada. They're doing something right. Some news out of the Girl Scouts in the USA. They have partnered with a new baker, at least in the San Diego region. Quoting Yahoo News, Girl Scouts San Diego has announced a new partnership with ABC Bakers. Girl Scout cookie customers can enjoy the same classic flavors, along with new cookies for the 2025 cookie season. The rest, end quote. The rest of the news story is a video, so I'll put the link in the show notes. You can click through to watch it, but evidently, Girl Scouts does this periodically. They partner with different bakers, just, trying to make sure that they can ensure the delivery of all the cookie products that they need. And so here is yet another new partnership, possibly with some new flavors coming along as a result. If that's something that you're curious about, something that you support, by all means, have a listen to the news bit. Meanwhile, up here in Canada, we recently had a jamboree out in British Columbia called the Pacific Jamboree. And there's an article here written from, just before it, actually, but still. Quoting the Times Colonist. Scouts from BC, Canada, and elsewhere in the world are descending on Camp Barnard, northwest of Sooke, for Scouts Canada's Pacific Jamboree. About 1,700 scouts ages 11 to 14 will be at the 250-acre facility, along with 672 adult supervisors for the week-long event. The Jamboree kicks off this morning. This article was posted on the 7th of July, with an opening ceremony with Scouts Canada's Executive Commissioner and CEO Liam Burns and Chief Scout Les Stroud, known for his television series Survivor Man. Camp Barnard previously hosted the annual Pacific Jamboree in 2015 and 2019. End quote. A few little corrections to make to the article. I'm not sure of the final numbers, but they were definitely larger than 1,700 scouts. And also, Pacific Jamboree is an annual jamboree. Even the dates there kind of speak to that. 2015, 2019, sounds like an every 4-year cadence. I think they might be trying to push it to a 3-year cadence. Not 100% sure about that. But it's definitely not a yearly thing. Not that that wouldn't be awesome, but it does take a lot of planning and effort and cost to run a jamboree. And in fact, looking at another article here that I had queued up, it gives a number of more than 3,200 scouts. So that seems a little more in line with what I had heard. This other article from the Victoria News, which I'll include a link to, mentions that scouts from Australia, Finland, Sweden, and the United Kingdom joined their Canadian counterparts. And that every province, as well as the Yukon Territory, sent scouts to the event. So that's pretty cool. And one more bit of news from Scouts Canada. Well, actually, 2 more bits of news. But the first one regards scouts from Canada who are going to be attending the Icelandic Jamboree, also taking place in 2024. Actually, I think it started this week or last week. Quoting the Scouts Canada Facebook page, over 400 scouts from Canada have embarked on an unforgettable journey to Landsmot Icelandic Jamboree 2024. As part of the international scouting community, these young adventurers are embracing the challenges and joys of Iceland's unique weather, rainy, cool, and sometimes sunny. Through it all, their resilience and enthusiasm shine bright. Join us in celebrating their incredible spirit and the global bonds of scouting. End quote. And finally, one last bit of news regarding, again, Scouts Canada. Not the best news either. And actually, this was posted back in March. I didn't even realize it back then. Or maybe I did, and that was like during an empty period when I wasn't posting these news episodes. Either way, Tamaracuda Scout Reserve, one of the largest scout camps in Canada, former scout camps in Canada, is evidently up for sale. Quoting Scouts.ca, the future of Tamaracuda Scout Reserve has been in question for many years, and we want to provide an update. We appreciate your ongoing patience, recognizing the process exploring Tamaracuda Scout Reserve's future has been long. Back in 2019, we let members know that Tamaracuda faced significant challenges, including usage, finances, and infrastructure. As such, we would try to find a way to partner with a third party that could make the site viable. Following an in-depth engagement process of surveys, focus groups, and interviews, alongside a transparent, formal request for expressions of interest to attempt to find creative solutions for sustaining the property, Scouts Canada's Board of Governors has made the difficult decision to approve a mandate to sell Tamaracuda Scout Reserve, albeit with a view to protecting access for scouts and recognizing how important environmental conservation is to our movement. End quote. This was posted back in March. I don't believe the property has sold yet. And I mean, to be fair, it's a large property. There's a lot of value caught up in it. But it was decided that the combination of financial, safety, and environmental challenges prohibited the property from offering the opportunities to scouts that it once had. And so it was concluded, with some support from, I guess, the Quebec Council leadership. Quebec Council in Scouts Canada oversees the property, that the sale could further Scouts Canada's mission by way of, significant earnings on the property, in ways that retaining the property just wouldn't, which is unfortunate, but hopefully that they are able to preserve it, because it's, I've never personally been. I've heard lots of people talk about it, and it is a historical landmark for Scouts in Canada. So many camps have happened there. So many people have visited there and, come away with great memories of it. So they're looking for a way to, preserve it. It's good. I don't want to see it, converted to lakefront properties or anything like that, right? But for now, I guess that is an ongoing process, and they're trying to, find a way to sell it while also, preserving it, let it become some sort of community-run camp or, an organizationally run camp that Scouts would still have access to. We've done similar things in the past, like here in Northern Lights Council, although those have kind of been time-bound things. We sold off one camp, for example, to the LDS Church, and then we were able to retain access for it for a number of years afterwards, but only for that set period. Now that the time period has expired, we can't go back there. So hopefully that's not the case for Tamaracuda. And I wish Scouts Canada all the best in finding a buyer for it. And that is all the news I have for you this week. Thank you again for listening, and until next time, be prepared.